Okay, Edward, I remember a couple of years ago you were talking about, at one point, saying that you had an ego that you needed a 200 power microscope to see. And I think since then I pointed out to you that you can't be kind of pregnant. Could you clarify for me, aside from the comment I made, and you have stopped using that phrase, could you try to, well, never mind the trying, could you clarify what you meant by that? Does there have to be any ego left whatsoever in order to communicate what you were pointing to, or is it something else?
I would say, my guess is that there has to be some part of the ego left in order to see the other folks on this planet. Joel Bridges, otherwise I don't know. It would be disappearance, I suppose. Go to heaven.
So is that a active choice on your part? And the other question, the two-part question, see, I don't understand that. Forget the first part. I don't understand how, if the ego starts to be so little, how one can stop it at a certain point from disappearing altogether. Would you care for a comment?
By using language, Joel. By using language. Language is of the ego.
Edward, the question that I have for you is, to you, are the words ego and individual interchangeable?
No. No, one is a function of illusion, one is an illusion, and the other is a possibility for us to be. We have the possibility of being individuals. It's just that all individualism has died. It is all collective now. So they're not interchangeable as far as I say. Hello, Jake. Welcome.
Okay, a follow-up to that, Edward. Should we be able to achieve, I don't know if achieve is the right word, but this individualism, how does that relate to oneness? Or how does oneness relate to it?
When you stand up on your own, by yourself, with no belief, no God, no any kind of thing to hold on to, then you're 100% responsible for yourself. You have a trust in yourself that goes beyond, obviously, the word trust. So then you could say, if you needed another word for it, you could say that you are an individual. But it means to say that you are standing on your own by yourself with no need for anything to hold you up.
Would that suggests that you don't see the word individual as being different from another. Is that correct?
Individual, by virtue of the word, means to say individual. It means to say that you are one. Do you see? This is another one of those situations where you need to discover for yourself that you are 100% responsible for yourself, and at that place you'll become an individual. And then from that place you will notice that you are all of the planet. But it's a sequential happening, one thing before the other. The problem with having conversation about all this stuff is people learn the next step before they take the first one. In other words, you say, okay, if you get on the diving board, you can dive into the water. Well, people end up in the water and they don't get on the diving board. I mean, that's probably a bad analogy, but that's what happens when these things are studied. People say, well, this, and then this. But people don't become a thing, and only from becoming that first thing can you see the second thing. But when belief is passed around, then the first thing is negated. The first thing is skipped, if you will. Light moon. I think that says light moon. Light moon. Welcome to the room. Go ahead, Judith.
Okay. Would it be correct to say then the phrase "you are an individual" is interchangeable with "you are unicity"?
Unicity? You mean by that a unit? I don't know what unicity is.
Well, let's drop that. Because my interpretation of that is a kind of wholeness, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Would you say that the word ego is interchangeable with an invented personality then?
Yes, it is an invented personality. That's what an ego is. Ego begins when you are trained and conditioned, when we're taught as children to be polite and there's a God and all of those things. Hello, Mario. Welcome.